In today's special video, we will explore a surprising aspect of kindness. Not everyone deserves your help. I will reveal 10 types of people you should carefully consider before extending a helping hand, and trust me, the last type will shock you. But before we dive into this list, let's listen to a short story that holds a profound lesson you can't miss. Under the shade of an ancient oak tree, Mrs. Elise sat quietly on a wooden bench in her garden, her cloudy eyes gazing into the distance. Her wrinkled hands gently caressed an old silver ring, the only remaining gift from her son, who had gone missing many years ago. Back then, when war ravaged the country, Mrs. Elise found a young soldier lying severely wounded by the roadside. Without hesitation, she brought him home, caring for him as her own son, day and night worrying and seeking doctors and medicine. After many months, the young soldier finally recovered. Before leaving, he promised to return and repay her kindness. But as time passed, the young soldier vanished without a trace, leaving no word behind. Mrs. Elise didn't blame him, only feeling saddened that her kindness had been forgotten. She told herself that perhaps he had forgotten, or perhaps his new life had taken him far away, but the pain in her heart still lingered like an unhealed scar. One autumn afternoon, a young man knocked on Mrs. Elise's door, asking for shelter for the night as his car had broken down. Seeing a resemblance to the soldier from years ago, a glimmer of hope flickered in her heart. She warmly welcomed the young man into her home, preparing a hearty dinner and a cozy room for him. The next morning, as the young man was about to leave, Mrs. Elise hesitantly asked, "Do you know a soldier named Thomas?" The young man shook his head, seemingly unfamiliar with the name. Mrs. Elise sighed, trying to hide her disappointment. The young man looked at the old woman, a strange feeling welling up inside him. He suddenly remembered the story his mother often told about a kind old lady who had saved his father's life during the war. He looked closely at the silver ring on the old woman's hand and was stunned to recognize it as the ring his father always cherished. "Are you Mrs. Elise?" The young man's voice trembled. Mrs. Elise looked up at him, her eyes filled with joy and surprise. "How do you know?" The young man knelt before her, tears streaming down his cheeks. "I am Thomas's son. My father always spoke of you with immense gratitude. He passed away a few years ago, but before his last breath, he still talked about you." Mrs. Elise embraced the young man, tears flowing freely. After so many years of waiting, she finally had her answer. She realized that her kindness had not been forgotten. It had been repaid by the sincere affection of this young man. From then on, Mrs. Elise understood that helping others is a beautiful thing, but not everyone appreciates such kindness. There are ungrateful and heartless people, but there are also those who are grateful and cherish what they receive. Mrs. Elise no longer grieved over the ungrateful. She focused on spreading love to those who deserved it, because she believed that kindness would always be rewarded, one way or another. Helping others is a beautiful act, a genuine joy. But as you know, life isn't always rosy. There are people who, instead of appreciating your kindness, take advantage of it, draining your energy and happiness. Kindness, like a beautiful flower, needs to be placed in the right spot to bloom and spread its fragrance. So, how can we identify these energy vampires? Why is it so crucial to recognize them? And most importantly, who is the first character on the list of people we shouldn't help? Let's uncover these secrets together in today's video. We will expose their fake masks and reveal the subtle tactics of those who exploit the kindness of others. You'll learn how to protect your positive energy so you don't get sucked into their vortex of negativity. If you find these videos helpful, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications so you won't miss any exciting content. Let's embark on this journey of discovery and protect ourselves from these energy vampires. Number 1. The chronic complainers. Stoicism, an ancient philosophy, emphasizes calmness, self-control, and the ability to accept what cannot be changed. In life, we cannot avoid difficult situations, challenges, and injustices. However, how we react to those things is what matters. People who complain and whine about everything from minor issues to major problems are poisoning their minds and losing inner peace. They not only make themselves miserable, but also spread negative energy to those around them. Their complaints are like a raging torrent, washing away optimism and hope. They see life through a gloomy lens, always finding fault in everything and constantly complaining about things that don't go their way. They don't realize that complaining doesn't solve problems, it only makes things worse. When you interact with chronic complainers, you can easily get caught up in their negativity. Your mood will be affected. You'll feel tired, discouraged, and lose motivation. Their negativity is like a virus, spreading quickly and weakening your spirit. A friend constantly laments about their job, their boss, their colleagues. A family member always complains about life's injustices, annoying neighbors, and social issues. An acquaintance always grumbles about the weather, traffic, or rising prices. These complaints, whether small or large, can make you feel tired and discouraged. According to Stoic philosophy, we cannot control what happens to us, but we can control how we react to it. Instead of complaining and whining, focus on the positive aspects of life. Seek solutions to the problems you face instead of just complaining. Learn to accept what cannot be changed and focus on what you can control. Remember, your surroundings greatly influence your emotions and attitude towards life. If you spend time with chronic complainers, you'll easily be affected by their negativity. Conversely, if you choose to be around positive, optimistic people, you'll be inspired and motivated to live a better life. Therefore, be mindful and choose your relationships wisely. Avoid chronic complainers and seek positive companions who will help you grow and live a more meaningful life. Remember, you are the master of your life, and you have the right to choose what you want to embrace in your mind and heart. Instead of getting caught up in the negativity of chronic complainers, focus on building a positive and meaningful life. Spend time with loved ones, do what you're passionate about, and pursue your goals. Remember, happiness is a choice, and you can choose to live a happy life regardless of difficulties and challenges. Life is not always easy, but we can always find joy and meaning in the little things. Learn to appreciate what you have, be grateful for those around you, and always look forward with an optimistic and cheerful heart. We've only covered 1/10 of today's lesson. Make sure you've subscribed to the channel so we can explore more together. Number 2. The ungrateful. The ungrateful, like bottomless black holes, are always craving to be filled, but never feel satisfied. They exist in our lives as a paradox, a dark spot in the beautiful pair of human connection. Have you ever met such people? They are those for whom you give, it's never enough. They always demand and complain, as if the world owes them an unpayable debt. They appear everywhere, from joyful parties to important meetings. They could be your colleagues, close friends, or even family members, but wherever they are, they always carry a negative atmosphere, making others feel exhausted and disheartened. Imagine you are enjoying a cozy dinner with friends at a fancy restaurant. A delicious food, a beautiful setting, and laughter are making the evening perfect, but a shrill voice rises, complaining about the quality of the food, the attitude of the staff, and even the color of the napkins. That is the ungrateful person, always finding trivial things to complain about, ruining everyone's mood. But ingratitude goes beyond complaints. The ungrateful person also shows their dissatisfaction through actions. They always demand and expect to receive more than they deserve. They may take advantage of your kindness, see it as a given, and never feel grateful for them. They might constantly ask for help, attention, or special favors without any intention of reciprocating. Their ingratitude not only irritates others, but also negatively affects themselves. They cannot experience joy and happiness from the good things around them because their minds are always preoccupied with negativity. They also struggle to build good relationships because no one wants to be around someone who knows how to demand and never appreciate. So, what causes ingratitude? It could be due to a lack of self-confidence and self-esteem, always feeling undeserving of good things. Or it could be because they are too selfish and greedy, caring only about their own benefits and not about others' feelings. It might also stem from a lack of education and awareness, not understanding the value of gratitude and the importance of appreciating what they have. Regardless of the cause, ingratitude is a bad habit that needs to be overcome. Gratitude is not only a beautiful virtue, but also the key to unlocking happiness. When we are grateful for what we have, we feel happier and more content. When we are grateful to those around us, we build better and more meaningful relationships. And when we are grateful for life, we find more motivation to live a fulfilling and meaningful life. Have you ever encountered someone who exhibits this sign? If so, leave a number 2 in the comments so I and others can know. Number 3. The lazy ones. In modern society, where effort and dedication are highly valued, there exists a group of people who seem perpetually immune to these values. They are the lazy ones, the shirkers of responsibility, those content with stagnation and passivity. These individuals always find excuses for doing nothing, even the smallest tasks. The sofa becomes their throne, and the remote control their scepter of power, allowing them to rule a virtual world without lifting a finger. They immerse themselves in movies, video games, or endless sleep, while real life passes them by unnoticed. Lazy people often justify their inaction with reasons like no time, no motivation, or no ability. However, the truth is they are merely avoiding effort and difficulty. They fear failure, fear judgment, and fear facing life's challenges. The habit of laziness not only hinders their personal development, but also burdens society. They become parasites, living off the efforts of others. They contribute nothing to society, only knowing how to indulge and demand. The saddest part is that lazy people often fail to recognize the harm of this habit. They delude themselves with thoughts like, life is for enjoyment. What's the point of working hard? Or, just let things happen naturally. They don't realize that laziness has caused them to miss valuable opportunities, exciting experiences, and proud achievements. Laziness is not an incurable disease, but a bad habit that can be changed. By acknowledging the detrimental effects of laziness and committing to change, everyone can overcome inertia and live a more positive and meaningful life. Remember, success doesn't come from luck, but from effort and perseverance. Don't let laziness rob you of your opportunities and capabilities. Stand up, take action, and create real value for your own life and for society. Before we move on to the next sign of a masked manipulator, If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel with the notification bell so you won't miss any future videos. And if you love this content as much as I do, comment, "I love wisdom." Let's learn and improve our lives together. Number 4. Irresponsible people. In life, we cannot avoid encountering people who seem to live in a world without consequences. The irresponsible ones. They are masters at evading commitments and blaming everything and everyone around them, except themselves. Imagine you are working on an important project with a group of friends. While you and others are diligently working, one person sits idly by, not caring about the progress or quality of the work. When the project hits a snag, they immediately blame others, insisting they are not at fault and refuse to take responsibility. Or in another scenario, you have planned to meet a friend for a movie, but they arrive hours late without an apology, blaming traffic, a broken-down car, or any other excuse. Irresponsible people often exhibit very distinctive behaviors. They are frequently late, fail to complete tasks on time, and always find ways to justify their mistakes. They do not keep promises, do not care about others' feelings, and always prioritize their own interests. When we try to help these people, we often feel frustrated and helpless. No matter how hard we try to support them, our help rarely yields positive results. They constantly avoid responsibility and blame others, leaving us feeling exhausted and discouraged. However, the saddest part is that irresponsible people often do not realize the harm their behavior causes. They do not understand that their irresponsibility affects not only themselves, but also those around them. They do not see that avoiding responsibility will cause them to lose the respect and trust of others, and eventually, they will pay the price for their actions. Dealing with irresponsible people is not easy. However, we can learn to protect ourselves by setting clear boundaries and not allowing them to take advantage of our kindness. We can also help them recognize their mistakes by talking to them directly and sincerely. But above all, we need to remember that we cannot change others. We can only change how we react to them. Learn to accept their irresponsibility, but don't let it affect our lives. Focus on positive and responsible people, those who will help us grow and live a more meaningful life. Number 5. The Manipulators. In the complex world of relationships, we sometimes encounter individuals with a special ability to manipulate and exploit the kindness of others. These are the manipulators, master artists in turning goodwill and sincerity into tools to achieve their personal goals. They are like chameleons, skillfully changing colors to blend into their surroundings, making it difficult for us to see their true nature. Manipulators are psychological experts, deeply understanding the weaknesses and desires of others. They use these skills to control and exploit others in a subtle way, leaving their victims feeling confused, insecure, and even guilty. One of the most common tricks of manipulators is gaslighting, a form of psychological abuse where the manipulator makes the victim doubt their own perceptions and memories. They may deny events that have occurred, distort the truth, or blame the victim for their own wrongdoings. For example, a husband might tell his wife that she forgot about an important event, even though he never told her about it. Another trick is playing the victim. Manipulators frequently talk about their difficulties and misfortunes, making others feel pity and want to help them. However, their true goal is to exploit others' kindness to get what they want. They might say they are being treated unfairly, misunderstood, or abandoned to make others feel guilty and comply with their wishes. Manipulators can also use guilt tripping. They often remind you of the good things they have done for you or the sacrifices they have made because of you, making you feel obligated to repay their kindness. Being manipulated can have serious negative effects on the victim's mental and emotional health. They may feel confused, lost, insecure, and even depressed. They may lose trust in themselves and their judgment, becoming dependent on the manipulator and afraid to make their own decisions. Furthermore, being manipulated can also affect the victim's relationships. They may become distant from friends and family because the manipulator often seeks to isolate them to maintain control. They may also struggle to build new relationships because they have lost trust in others. Recognizing a manipulator is not easy because they are often very skillful at hiding their true nature. However, there are some warning signs to watch for. They frequently lie and change their stories. They always blame others for their mistakes. They often criticize and belittle you. They make you feel guilty and obligated to do what they want. They try to isolate you from friends and family. If you notice these signs in someone, be careful. Do not let yourself get drawn into their game. Set clear boundaries, and do not allow them to invade your personal space. Trust your feelings and perceptions, and do not let them make you doubt yourself. If you feel you are being manipulated, seek help from friends, family, or a psychologist. They can help you recognize the manipulator's tricks and regain your confidence and independence. Number 6, the naysayers. Imagine you are an artist deeply absorbed in each brushstroke on your canvas, each stroke a reflection of your soul and emotions. Suddenly, someone walks in, glances at your work, and harshly criticizes it. This color doesn't seem right, does it? The composition looks a bit messy. Honestly, art is tough. Not everyone can succeed. These words are like sharp knives cutting into your passion and confidence. They are not constructive criticisms, but baseless judgments meant to undermine you and your work. The naysayer does not care about your creative process, nor do they understand the meaning behind each of your brushstrokes. They only see what they want to see and use negative words to dismiss your efforts and talent. They are like dark clouds, obscuring the sunlight and turning the vibrant picture of your life into something gray and gloomy. These people can be anyone, from friends and colleagues to family members. They may not realize that their words are hurting you, or they may intentionally say such things to satisfy their own insecurities and jealousy. Regardless of the reason, being around naysayers will negatively impact your psyche and creativity. You will gradually lose confidence in yourself, feel insecure, and be afraid to express your talent. You will start to doubt your choices and might even abandon your passion because of others' criticisms. Therefore, learn to recognize and distance yourself from naysayers. Remember that you are an artist, and your work is a part of you. Do not let others' negative words affect your passion and creativity. Trust in yourself, believe in your talent, and continue to create beautiful paintings for your life. Number 7, the reckless. In the kaleidoscope of life, encounters with individuals who embody a terrifying recklessness, those who are willing to do whatever it takes to achieve their goals, are unavoidable. These are individuals who have been cornered, who have nothing left to lose, and it is this desperation that transforms them into dangerous beings, ready to trample over everything to rise above. The portrait of recklessness is far from simple. They might be people who have experienced significant losses, severe failures, or have been rejected by society. The deep-seated pain has eaten into their souls, causing them to lose faith in life, in humanity, and even in themselves. Their recklessness can manifest in various ways. Some become numb, cold, indifferent to the feelings or sufferings of others. Some act recklessly, ignoring the consequences, just to satisfy momentary desires. And there are those who become cunning and deceitful, ready to betray and harm others to achieve their ends. To reach their goals, the reckless often resort to ruthless tactics. They may exploit the kindness and trust of others, turning those around them into pawns in their game. They do not hesitate to take advantage of others' weaknesses, exploiting their fears and insecurities to manipulate and control them. They might use lies, empty promises to deceive others, pretending to care and share, but in reality, only to exploit and extract. They can even play the victim, evoking sympathy and a desire to help, only to turn around and betray mercilessly. The reckless actions of these individuals not only inflict harm on others, but also destroy their own lives. They might achieve temporary goals, but the price is loneliness, social rejection, and contempt. They may gain wealth and fame, but lose the most precious human values like love, friendship, self-respect, and inner peace. John's story is a typical example. A successful businessman, but after his company went bankrupt, John lost everything and fell into a cycle of gambling and drinking. He borrowed money everywhere, even deceiving friends and family to get gambling money. In the end, John lost everything. His family fell apart, friends turned away, and he had to live in poverty and solitude. Peter, a talented employee, was envied and sabotaged by colleagues, lost his job, and could not find new work. He became despondent and desperate, plotting revenge. Peter broke into his old company and set it on fire, injuring many people. In the end, Peter was caught and paid with his life. These stories serve as a wake-up call for all of us. Do not let desperation turn you into someone reckless, ready to do anything to achieve your goals. Always hold on to faith in life, in people, and in yourself. Remember, there are values higher than money and fame, such as love, friendship, self-respect, and inner peace. Number 8. The habitual liars. In life, we cannot avoid encountering deceitful individuals. They manipulate, are selfish, irresponsible, and sow conflict and unhappiness with their flowery but empty words. To protect our inner peace, we need to identify and stay away from them. Habitual liars often display inconsistencies between their words and actions. Today they promise one thing, tomorrow they do another, even contradicting themselves. They constantly change their stories when questioned, blame others, or divert attention. Their words are like masks, hiding their true selfish and dishonest nature. They deceive not only others, but also themselves. They delude themselves with illusions of power and perfection. They blame circumstances and others to avoid responsibility, never acknowledging their own mistakes. This dishonesty corrodes their souls from within, making them increasingly isolated and unhappy. Stoics understand that true happiness comes from being honest with oneself and others. We cannot control others' words and actions, but we can control how we react to them. Staying away from liars is a wise choice to protect our inner peace. Do not let yourself be drawn into their negative spiral. Focus on genuine relationships where you are respected and understood. Spend your time and energy on meaningful pursuits and lasting values. That is the path to true happiness. Remember, we cannot change others, but we can change ourselves. Cultivate honesty, responsibility, and compassion. Become the person you want to meet, the person you want to be. That is the best way to spread positive values and build a meaningful life. Number 9. Those who always rely on others for help. A Stoic understands that helping does not mean doing things for others, but rather awakening the hidden strength within each person. Just like the fable of the beggar, if we keep giving him money, he will never escape poverty. But if we teach him a trade, he will be able to support himself and even help others. Imagine a friend who always asks you to do their homework. Initially, you might feel happy to help, but gradually, you will realize that you are taking away the opportunity for your friend to learn and grow. You become a crutch, preventing your friend from walking their own path of knowledge. Instead of doing the homework for them, help your friend understand the lessons. Guide them on how to solve problems on their own. Be a teacher, a companion, inspiring a love for learning in your friend. That is true help, enabling your friend to not only overcome immediate difficulties, but also equipping them with solid tools to face future challenges. Sometimes, refusing to help is also a way to show deep love. When we say no to a lazy, dependent person, we are forcing them to stand on their own, face difficulties, and find ways to overcome them. It is a tough process, but it is through adversity that people forge their will and determination. A Stoic does not fear adversity, but sees it as an opportunity to train themselves. They know that only by going through challenges can we discover our limits and reach new heights. Therefore, have the courage to say no to insincere pleas for help. Reserve your assistance for those who genuinely desire change, those who are ready to give their best to achieve their goals. Never forget that helping is not about giving favors, but about empowering others. Help people find the strength within themselves so they can confidently walk their own path. Number 10. The Dishonest. A Stoic with profound wisdom and steadfast spirit understands that honesty is the immutable foundation of all relationships. Like a lighthouse guiding through the vast sea, honesty leads us to safe and solid shores. Conversely, deceit is like a violent storm, sweeping away trust and destroying the precious values we have painstakingly nurtured. When facing dishonest individuals, be as cautious as a traveler crossing a treacherous desert. Do not let your kindness be exploited, nor allow your sympathy to become a lifeline for those who cannot swim. Blindly helping them not only brings harm to yourself, but also inadvertently supports wrongful acts, causing them to sink deeper into the mire of deceit. Imagine you're a diligent farmer. Would you be willing to share your precious seeds with a lazy person who merely waits for the harvest? Or would you rather give them to hard-working companions, those who are ready to sweat and toil to sow and reap? Similarly, be wise in choosing whom to offer your help. Do not let your goodwill be taken advantage of by those who only know how to receive without giving, those who see honesty as an unnecessary luxury. Remember, helping is not about giving favors, but about offering opportunities, and opportunities should only be given to those who appreciate and are willing to strive for change. A Stoic does not turn away from those who have lost their way. We can still extend our arms, but with a discerning heart and a clear mind. Help them recognize their mistakes, guide them in the right direction, and give them the chance to start anew. But if they refuse to change, be brave enough to let go. Sometimes, letting go is also a way of helping, allowing them to face the consequences of their actions and find the right path on their own. Life is a long journey, and along the way, we will meet many people and face many temptations. Always uphold honesty, steadfastness, and clear wisdom to overcome all challenges. Remember, only by living true to our values can we find genuine happiness and peace. The And those are the types of people we need to be cautious about when extending our kindness. Remember, kindness is like a warm flame. It can warm and illuminate the lives of others, but it can also be extinguished by the wind or exploited by malicious individuals to cause harm. Let your kindness shine in the right place at the right time, reaching those who truly appreciate it and reciprocate with sincerity. Don't let the ungrateful, those who only seek to take advantage of your kindness, dim the light of compassion within you. Thank you for taking the precious time to watch this video. We hope that our sharing has helped you recognize the energy vampires around you and equipped you with the necessary knowledge to protect yourself. If you found this video helpful, please like, share, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel to not miss out on other valuable content that we will bring in the future. Let's spread this positive message together to build a community where kindness is honored and help is always given sincerely and meaningfully. Because only when we know how to protect and use kindness wisely can we create truly positive changes for ourselves and the world around us. See you in the next videos where we will continue to explore interesting aspects of life and humanity.